Looks like this match is over. He's about to hit him with the big slam.
Again, thanks for your support, and we'll see you at the matches right here, OneWrestling.com.
Welcome, wrestling fans. You got the show Bill Schuyler here at the Big Slam Nation, a One Wrestling production, with all the news flying high, low, and all about the wrestling universe this week. Still at the top of the heap would be the signing of Alberto Del Rio, El Patron, taking the AAA champion into the fold of the WWE, and him winning the U.S. title from one John Cena at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. This is still leaving the unofficial unification between AAA and the WWE. Now, Dorian Penna is reluctantly behind the situation which occurred, as basically he didn't have much of an option. The bankroll behind the WWE was able to get in there and buy out El Patron, Alberto Del Rio's contract, and Dorian Penna and AAA could not come close to covering what he's being paid. There are all types of rumors of how much money he has been paid. We are not about rumors here at One Wrestling, so I will not get into the dollar figure that is out there on the dirt sheets of how much he is making. If you want to find out that, then go ahead and troll the dirt sheets. But when you want to get the real, bona fide information, you come to One Wrestling, you come to the Big Slam Nation, and we give it to you when it's known, when it's solid, when it's solidified, when it is legit. Now, with that, I thought it an opportune moment to not discuss the past with Alberto Del Rio, who his greatest opponents had been in the WWE ring since his initial debut some years ago with Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, all that stuff, okay? This is a new world. This is 2015 Del Rio coming in with a new heater, a new mouthpiece, if you will, and a new outlook on his wrestling style. Is he a heel? Is he a face? Is he a tweener? It's really hard to say, because in some aspects he is absolutely wrestling as a heel, and then on others he seems to be a baby face. I am on that line of putting him in the same level, same wrestling style of a Stone Cold Steve Austin right now, where basically Alberto Del Rio is going to do what he's got to do when he's got to do it to make it be beneficial for his career, for the ducats, for the gold, for the bullion, for the dineros, for the dollars. Okay, so that means if he's got to beat the living hell out of the biggest babyface in the company to get ahead, he's going to do it. If he's going to wrestle a scientific match against said babyface to work his way out, to work his way up the rankings, he's going to do it. if he's going to go mano a mano against the toughest SOB heel in the company, he's going to do it if it's beneficial to Alberto Del Rio. Now, what I decided to do was to come up with my top 10 opponents that I feel would be the men to face El Patron, Alberto Del Rio, in 2015 into 2016. Men that would give him top-notch, if not 4-star, possibly 5-star matches, excellent feuds, everything and anything leading up to WrestleMania, and then the fallout thereafter. This is for the long haul. Del Rio is not here for a cup of coffee. He's here to be, in my opinion, possibly, other than Brock Lesnar, I think Alberto Del Rio could very well be the face of the WWE. I think he brings in an entire new outlook to the company. He definitely brings in an entire new demographic all on his own, as Rey Mysterio is not here, and Kalisto is not at anywhere near a level yet to be bringing in the Latino wrestling fans into the promotion. I think you're going to see Kalisto slide away from the Lucha Dragons, letting that Sin Cara disappear off into the low card, if not completely do away with that gimmick, and see Kalisto get his push, because he most certainly is the 2015 version of a Rey Mysterio, but not a copycat, not Rey Mysterio 2.0. No, Kalisto is his own man. He is his own mega superstar, and all he needs them to do is cut loose the chain that's been holding him down and let him fly. And fly he indeed has done. As you will know, with this working relationship with Evolve, with Gabe Sapolsky, I would urge wrestling fans to go check out Evolve. And you will see matches with Samurai Del Sol, who is Kalisto, when he went up against everybody from Kevin Owens to El Generico, who's a very, very good close friend of Sami Zayn, so much so that their ring styles are almost mirror-like. And it was definitely that those two, Sami Zayn and Kalisto, will be able to really put off some great matches here in the WWE. But I digress. This is not about Kalisto. This is about El Patron, Alberto Del Rio, in the top 10 wrestlers that I feel will be beneficial for him to face in the upcoming year and a half to 2 years. Let's jump right into it. The number 10, bringing him up and out of NXT finally, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe versus Alberto Del Rio, without a doubt, would be one of the most tremendous matches and or feuds seen in a WWE ring in many, many of years. This is a guy, Samoa Joe, who can do it all against all size opponents, and he can hang with anyone from the little guys to the monsters. Alberto Del Rio, Samoa Joe, definitely a golden opportunity. Another individual to come up out of NXT, and it's not who you expect it to be. It is one James Storm, the cowboy, James Storm, beer drinking, deer killing, creek swimming, Johnny Cash listening, son of a buck. And if you don't like that, sorry about your damn luck. There would be nothing more impressive, in my opinion. I'm talking match of the year candidate for James Storm and Alberto Del Rio to tear it down in rings across this country. Number 8 would be the current Intercontinental Champion, Kevin Owens. Their time against each other is not over from this past Monday Night Raw. I see these two mid-level champions continuing to battle it out for who has the better championship, who is the better number 1 contender when it comes to the world title. Number 7, the Golden Child, the one that is being promoted to be the man to carry the WWE on his back into the future, sans John Cena, one Roman Reigns. Again, Roman Reigns and Alberto Del Rio. I think Alberto can bring out greatness in Roman Reigns, and I think Reigns will be able to bring out a different aspect with Del Rio with his size and his ability in the ring. I would like to see possibly the two of them also being able to work out some great stick work and building up their matches and making them entertaining with a lot of psychology in the ring and outside of the ring, making us want to see these matches. Then we have the Lunatic Fringe. Yeah, Dean Ambrose, Alberto Del Rio. He was somebody at some time, and now he wants to come back here at the US Open and steal away my opportunity to beat John Cena and have taken the US title back, a title that I held for a long time, and I believe I should be the number 1 contender. Don't let it slip. The Lunatic Fringe and all my fans out here know that Dean Ambrose is no one to put off in the corner by anybody. Now, Dean Ambrose, Alberto Del Rio, two completely different styles, and I believe those different styles would prove to be outstanding ring work, and this could be a great long-standing feud between these two individuals. And then we're going to get into the European Union. Although it's not an official faction, many members of this are perfect opponents for Del Rio. One, Sheamus. Yes, I know a lot of people don't like the current gimmick. Well, the gimmick could change, and if it didn't change, it's very possible that regardless of that, these two men could go into a massive, hard-hitting feud. And he's carrying the briefcase. Perhaps we could get Del Rio, smart as he is, to get going back and forth some rubber matches and then saying, put it all on the line, Sheamus. My U.S. title up against your Money in the Bank briefcase. And when it's all said and done, Alberto Del Rio would not only have the U.S. title, but the golden ticket, the briefcase, for his shot at the world title at any time he pleases. Yes, great booking, great mind, the show, Big Slam Nation. This is why we are here, to smarten up the wrestling fans out there, to wake them up to the possibilities of what can be done in not just the WWE, but in Impact Wrestling, in Ring of Honor, in New Japan, in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. It doesn't matter where. Let your voice be heard. Use social media and get them to give you the matches that you want to see, and to cancel the matches you don't want to see. Now, after a battle with Sheamus, well, what about the King himself, King Barrett, Wade Barrett, one of the greatest, most underrated wrestlers on the roster right now, the Bullhammer, going up against Alberto Del Rio. This, again, 5-star matches or possibilities between these two individuals. I would love to see these feuds culminate. Following that, of course, would be the strongest man in the WWE locker room, the King of Swing, the Swiss Superman, Cesaro. Cesaro versus Alberto Del Rio is money. That would be a match of the year candidate, bar none. I would be hard pressed to see Cesaro not walk away with that U.S. title from Alberto Del Rio. Would he get to keep that title would be the question, because this would be again the type of feud that Del Rio needs to go week after week, continuing feuds, starting feuds, making enemies, forgetting about friends, being that guy that's shooting for the main event of WrestleMania. What a storyline for Del Rio to come back after all the shenanigans, all the BS that caused him to leave the company, to not only have walked into the company on his first night taking the U.S. title, possibly doing what I said by taking the money in the briefcase off of Sheamus and using that to make himself the world heavyweight champion, or saving it for WrestleMania and cashing it in on the winner of that main event. I have goosebumps thinking about all the possibilities that Del Rio can level out there and give to the fans of the WWE. I see Alberto Del Rio literally changing this company by every action he makes, making creative go his way, not creative giving him some stupid Mexican gimmick and falling into that laziness. No, it's time. Alberto's bigger than that, and it's stupid to have any dealings. I don't want to hear about Donald Trump. I don't want to hear about walls. I want Alberto Del Rio to be like anybody else. His heritage should have no bearing on his ring activity. Bottom line, he's a man like everybody else. And for those who did not know, Daniel Bryan, the American Dragon himself, has been cleared to wrestle. He was cleared to wrestle on Hell in a Cell morning. So the WWE is waiting for the right opponent for Daniel Bryan. And what greater match, what greater in-ring historical capabilities wait than to see Daniel Bryan going to war against Alberto Del Rio for the U.S. title. These two men could take this feud forever. Two of the greatest wrestlers in the business. Both men hungry to prove how great they are and what they can do for the WWE. Will Daniel Bryan's ring style have changed, that it would affect how he wrestles? I think he can handle that because he's so attuned. It has so many different aspects to his wrestling repertoire that most people forget his ground game that he has. He does not have to fly and do high risk moves to damage that neck any further. And then my number one opponent for Alberto Del Rio. This was a hard pick. I wasn't sure who I was going to go. It was going to be one of two men, and the one man that didn't lose was the one man that lose will not be in the top 10 at all. He would be relegated back to 11. Those two men were Neville, and the other man was Finn Balor, the NXT champion. Well, my friends, the man that I chose would be none other than the rock and roller Finn Balor, the NXT champion, the former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, New Japan Tag Team Champion, Rev UK Champions, belts all across the world. A wrestler that is due his time. It's time for this NXT champion to make his move to the main roster. There would be nothing greater than to see him put his NXT title up against the US title with Alberto Del Rio. I would see this being a match of epic proportions, to be a cliche, and I would see Finn Balor winning that US title, and then in effect deciding that he could not defend both equally and that he would vacate the NXT title and step fully, unabashedly into the WWE main event, Raw, the main roster, US champion Finn Balor going to war each and every week against the best that the WWE offers after finishing his feud with one Alberto Del Rio. That is my top 10 opponents that if I was booking, they would be going up against Alberto Del Rio over the next 24 months. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button below. Hit subscribe. Leave your comments, please. This is how we get to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So leave your top 10. Tell me who you thought I should have had on this list. Tell me who I should have had on the list. Follow us at the Big Slam Nation on Twitter. Follow Apter One Wrestling for Bill Apter at One Wrestling. Then I want you to follow my tag team partners. Big Ray at Big Ray Show. Billy Ray Hustle. That's the one and the only Billy Ray Valentine. Fame Black at Fame Black. Professor Hustle. That's PROFHUSTLE. And then the dirtiest in the city. That's right, 8-Track Brown at Pharaoh of Fancy. And myself, the show, Bill Schuyler. Follow me at UGOTDASHOW. You got the show. Big Slam Nation is on each and every Saturday. Pay attention to it. Check us out. Sign in, like, and subscribe up on Twitter to the Big Slam Nation. Let's get those numbers up to go in comparison to all you Big Slam maniacs who were with us on our debut weekend for Hell in the Cell, the preview selection, the match beyond, the fallout. Everything we've had to do has been a raving, unbelievable success by the Big Slam Nation, and that's only possible by you, the fans. Follow us all. We all have different things we do for the nation and for One Wrestling. I am responsible for NXT News. I'm the NXT reporter. Ringside for Ring of Honor Reports. The Indies I cover. Then Big Ray at Big Ray Show. He covers pay-per-view fallouts. Billy Ray Valentine hits every Raw after a major pay-per-view or any special Raws out there that demand service to be seen. And other jobs, other segments are going to be determined as we continue to grow in where the Professor, where Fame, where 8-Track are going to do exactly. And that's why you need to follow the Big Slam Nation each and every week, because not only will you learn about professional wrestling, not only will you learn about what's going on that week in the world of professional wrestling, but you'll find out what each one of us is doing. You'll find out when we begin to bring our guests, the superstars, and the of today, of tomorrow, and of the future in Big Slam Nation. That's right, we will have interviews with wrestlers, with referees, with creative talent, you name it, they're going to be there, and it's going to be outstanding as always. So with that, again, I am the show, Bill Schuyler. Follow me at You Got the Show, and with that, I'll see you down the road.